Sit down for a moment. Pour yourself something warm, clear the distractions from your mind, and let an older man share a truth with you that took me decades to fully understand. There are two kinds of men in this world. The first man spends his entire life chasing women. The second man spends his life building himself. The deep irony of our nature is that the first man spends all his days pursuing women, while the second man slowly, quietly becomes the exact type of man women pursue. Most young men never understand this difference. They grow up under the false impression that attraction is something you chase like a wild animal. They think it's something you negotiate or something you can earn if you just give enough attention, send enough texts, offer enough compliments, and hand out endless validation. But attraction does not work that way. It never has, and it never will. The harder a man chases validation from the outside world, the less valuable he becomes in the eyes of that world. Conversely, the more a man looks inward and builds himself, the more his value rises. Today, we are going to break down the fundamental difference between the man who craves women and the man women crave. Not so you can become a player, not so you can manipulate anyone, but so you can become the type of man whose life is worth joining. Because in the end, the goal was never women. The goal was always becoming a stronger man. And once you understand that, everything begins to change. By the end of our talk, you will understand why one of these men is destined to live a life of desperation, while the other steps into a life of genuine abundance. 1. One seeks validation, the other seeks purpose. The man who craves women sources his self-worth entirely from female attention. A text message dictates his mood, a compliment boosts his confidence, and a rejection destroys his week. He has handed the remote control of his emotions to strangers. The man women crave sources his confidence internally, from his mission, his standards, and his personal growth. He enjoys attention, but he never depends on it. His identity stands firm with or without approval. Remember, a man who needs validation becomes a slave to it. 2. One chases, the other attracts. Because the man who craves is empty inside, his life revolves around pursuit. He is always texting first, over-investing, and quietly panicking about being replaced. He floods the market with his presence, driving his value to zero. The man women crave isn't running after people, he is running after goals. His energy goes into building a life worth living. Women become magnetic to him because they see a train moving somewhere great with or without them. Desperation repels, purpose attracts. 3. One is controlled by emotions, the other controls them. When life gets difficult, the man who craves collapses. A delayed reply ruins his afternoon, and a breakup entirely deletes his identity. His emotions are the master, his actions are the slave. The man women crave feels emotion deeply, but he is never ruled by it. He remains calm under pressure, grounded during uncertainty, and composed during conflict. He is the anchor in the storm. A man who cannot control himself will always be controlled by his circumstances. 4. One has neediness, the other has options. The man who craves is trapped in a scarcity mindset. He treats every passing connection like his last opportunity for happiness. Because of this fear, he tolerates disrespect, compromises his standards, and stays where he isn't valued. The man women crave understands true abundance. This doesn't mean he's a womanizer. It means he has absolute confidence in his own trajectory. He knows his life is good on its own, so he doesn't fear loss. The strongest position in life is knowing you'll be okay if someone leaves. 5. One neglects himself, the other invests in himself. The man who craves is obsessed with being chosen, yet he rarely does the work required to become a man worth choosing. He wastes hours analyzing text messages, but avoids the quiet habits that actually build true confidence. The man women crave invests in himself relentlessly: his fitness, his skills, his finances, and his mind. Every year, he becomes more capable, more respected, and more competent. Your value rises when you become useful, disciplined, and competent. 6. One has a destination, the other has distractions. The man who craves is easily unsettled. His focus shifts with the wind, constantly sidetracked by cheap entertainment, temporary validation, and immediate pleasure. He is drifting. The man women crave has a clear destination. His mission is defined and his path is solid. People and women are naturally drawn to him, because people are naturally drawn towards certainty. 7. One wants to be chosen, the other chooses. The man who craves is always begging for permission, asking, "Do they like me? Am I good enough? Will they choose me?" The man women crave exercises mature discernment, asking, "Do they align with my values? Do they respect my boundaries? Do they deserve access to the life I am building?" The moment you stop chasing approval, you begin operating from a position of absolute strength. 8. Eye contact and presence: the seeker versus the pillar. Watch how a man enters a room. The man who craves has anxious, wandering eyes. He scans the environment, adjusting his posture based on who is watching, desperately seeking smiles. His energy is needy and weak. The man women crave enters a room like a concrete pillar. His focus is fully on the people he is with, his posture is grounded, and his eye contact is steady. He doesn't look around to see who is watching him, he lets the room adjust to his presence. True charisma is being so secure within your own skin that your stillness makes everyone else feel grounded. 9. Handling rejection: the collapse versus the indifference. Watch how a man handles a no. Rejection destroys the man who craves. He either gets bitter, sends paragraphs of text explaining his worth, or spirals into deep self-doubt. The man women crave views rejection with absolute, calm indifference. He knows his value is fixed. If a woman isn't interested, he doesn't take it personally. He assumes it's a mismatch of alignment, wishes her well, and never looks back. The ultimate masculine superpower is the genuine ability to walk away and never look back. The goal of this talk was never to teach you how to get women. It was to teach you how to stop needing them for your sense of worth. The man who constantly chases validation lives at the mercy of others. He is a beggar waiting for crumbs. But the man who builds his own kingdom becomes truly free. Free from desperation, free from approval, and free from fear. And ironically, that freedom is exactly what makes him attractive. Stop asking, "How do I get them to notice me?" Start looking in the mirror and asking, "How do I become a man I actually respect?" Build the castle, focus, everything else will follow. If you're choosing the path of growth today, comment below, "I choose purpose over validation." Subscribe to join the Brotherhood of Disciplined Men. Now, get back to work.